This is NDTV, and you're watching NDTV 24/7.
Hello there, we're coming to you from the iconic Mother of Parliaments of the world, Westminster, where we're coming to you from in central London. And talking of London and its iconic locations, let me go through this list for you, and for anybody who's coming from back home, this must be useful. Westbourne Park, Ladbroke Grove, Portobello Market, which is the ancient and almost 150 years old, Oxford Street, Marble Arch, Piccadilly Circus, Trafalgar Square. If you're wondering why I'm referring to these locations, then you must have spotted this beautiful looking TfL bus with Air India and this Maharaja on top of it. And you must have wondered what the Air India bus is doing around London city. But to talk a little bit more about what it has meant for Air India and whether it has struck a chord with Aam Aadmi, which is passengers like us. Of course, you are a very high-profile person, Mr. Das, but I'm saying when it comes to Aam Aadmi and for the Janta who's hoping to buy a ticket to go back to India, whether it has managed to strike a chord. I'll start with you. Have you spotted the bus at all?
I have spotted the bus. I spotted it round Oxford Street. Oxford Street. For me,
On a working day?
on a working day.
Clearly you were not working and you were
I wasn't working as much as I should have been, for sure. Is this going live to my company? Because I think it was fantastic to see the bus. What was really interesting for us, my company, we're involved in UK-India trade relations. Sometimes it gets forgotten how many Indian businesses are investing in the UK, and it's just fantastic to see Air India give visibility to some of the things they're doing. So yeah, really interesting, really fun.
Made you curious?
Very colourful as well, very colourful.
Very colourful as well. Ms. Naidu, you head UK Air India region, and London, of course, we all know is such a popular destination. Maybe just after US, or has it overtaken US already?
Well, in terms of number of flights, it is more than the US. In terms of distance, of course, US is further from India. But we've been flying to London since 1948. So that's a very long time ago.
Yeah, almost historic indeed. So given the importance and the significance of this location, this route, London and India, what has this bus meant? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, is this really the first airline to try something like this? Just bring a red bus off London Street, wrap it up in golden Air India colours and then say, go?
Well, it is, I believe, one of the first South Asian brands to do it. So we have a lot of people who've been telling us that it's wonderful to see. It feels like Indians have finally arrived to see, you know, an Air India bus in central London, the heart of central London.
It's a very innovative project and very inspiring too on many levels. Of course, as a member of London Assembly, I'm great that Air India is helping the revenue of transport for London. So well done on that. Thank you, Air India. As a representative of Northwest London boroughs of Brent and Harrow, with 22, nearly 25% of Indian population, again, terrific, because this will, make a lot of Indians to think twice before going to another airlines, because you can't miss this bus. Iconic route as well. It covers the Indian High Commission area, Aldwych, takes you to Paddington, Oxford Circus, Regent Street. So if you are walking, you will see the royal blue Maharaja Indian, Air India bus. Now, Air India itself is like heritage of India. So if you're walking, you will incredibly see that bus. If you are behind, or if you're in the car, again you will notice, because it is so impressive and so imposing.
Has it meant people have become more curious, more than people from the Indian community?
Yes. See, actually the reason for doing it is more for the mainstream community in UK rather than the Indians. All Indians know Air India. It's part of their blood. All of them have flown Air India at some point or the other. But this was more for the mainstream market, tourists, to attract them to India via Air India. And we've also launched a London-Newark flight a transatlantic flight, but not many know that, there is an airline like Air India which flies on this route. And it's been great having this bus. Those flights are in very high demand.
The idea obviously is to promote Air India, the national carrier of the country here, to attract global customers. But has that managed to change the perception that general people have about Air India? For instance, today, would you think of Air India as your first preferred airline if you want to fly back home?
Sure, why not? In fact, we Indians pride in sort of traveling by Air India. So here, in fact, all my office people, all my clients, I really advertise for Air India to fly. And in fact, our people, we make it more or less compulsory to fly Air India, if not, through their choice or whatever, because we feel comfortable with Air India. The Dreamliner, I must say, is one of the wonderful aircrafts that I have traveled on, and I have traveled mostly, during my short stint here of around 10 months which I have been here, I think all the times I have traveled to India is through Dreamliners, and I really felt very, very comfortable. Not just the business class, even the economy is really comfortable. You've got good leg space and you've got good ambience around it.
Among the ethnic community, of course, it is one of the prime and preferred airlines. But will it take some more time before the others can opt for it? Air China, what is that? Let's say Air India. When will that happen?
Yes, of course, as Mr. Das referred, the Dreamliner has made a significant change in the corporate segment. Corporates are very comfortable, especially because of the air pressure, and when they reach the destination, they are much more refreshed compared to other airlines. The leg space is, even in economy, is brilliant, and many corporates now travel economy, but even on the Dreamliner, the economy class is also very, very comfortable. But the most important thing here is that Air India, with many of the corporates who are not only Indian, the British market, have spotted the bus and were called me to say, Paula, I saw an Air India bus. How many do you have now? And I said, yes, we are so happy that you have spotted it. So does it make a difference? No, but it really has made an impact. It's so beautiful. It's wonderful.
So how many
and
the UK has about 1.5 million people from the Indian diaspora of Indian origin who are doing so very well, so many different things, so many startups coming up. Do you see this as a very challenging space to keep talking about your brand? For instance, you represent Punjab National Bank. What do you think of this space here to talk about your own Indian brand to the global world?
See, honestly, if you ask me, I think it is very natural for all the Indian brands to come over here and follow the Indian diaspora. The reason is it's a very natural corollary. Now, we have been here for around 9 years, and the population is growing. So all Indians who come here and would like to see their brands grow. And with Brexit happening at the moment, I think India and UK relations are going to strengthen.
London market, how challenging and how interesting is it going to get, given we're talking of Brexit, we're talking of people being a little bit more apprehensive about what they're spending on?
I think it's going to be a complex market because there's uncertainty. People want to understand what the consequences are, and it is difficult to surmise them at this stage. From a financial perspective, London has always been highly attractive. Personally, I think that will remain the case as a city. For Indian brands, I think Air India exemplify with some of the things they're doing. A number of moves by Indian businesses to show the internationalization and to not be, I suppose, introspective. From a UK perspective, we're promoters of the relationship with UK India, but it doesn't really take a genius. It's the fastest growing economy in the world. It's overtaken China in so many ways. There's a reformist government in Modi that is really making dramatic changes to the operating environment. And it does create the potential for the relationship to just further strengthen.
Thank you for joining us. Write your feedback. How can Air India get better to make your flight experience even better and memorable? OOE@ndtv.com is where we write to, and we give it straight to the boss so she can make the changes for you. Thanks very much indeed.